Hi folks, welcome back to the Hoard. As you all know, I went to the car show and bought an XR80, and that bike came home in pieces. It was an XR80 kit. Most of it was there, but unfortunately not all of it. And there she sits, waiting to be put together. Right, I paid $50 for it. It's a 1983. What year are you? 84. So there we are, the XR80. So I was after a motor for it. The motor came in pieces, and I just, when I'm working on projects, I kind of regularly scan through eBay. And you guys are looking at a nice empty box here. And it was a motor in a box within a box. And by the way, if you're going to ship anything, UPS, USPS, FedExpress, or however you're shipping it, that's the smart way of doing it. And here's the motor. So it came in as a parts motor. That's how they described it. And specifically, I was after the top end, because I know I need this. So anyway, you can look at it and you see where the intake goes on, it's in good shape. Where the exhaust goes on, it's in good shape. So I got the top end out of it. Just for laughs, this is a dry compression test. It was at about 150. It drifted down a little bit. So I'm looking at that going, kind of a nice engine here. What really is wrong with it? I checked the clutch, and it's got some clutch there. It's got the recoil, or it's got the kickstart, but she's welded up. So really the only thing, wrong with this engine is, really that one is completely stripped out. These are the mounting bolts where you put the foot pegs, and basically the foot pegs and kickstand go on the bottom right here. Anyway, I feel like I more or less stole this engine. I got it for $118 plus $32 shipping. There's a little picture of the engine. He was asking $170 plus $32 shipping. So he was asking $202 for it. Here's the description. And you could say he basically describes it as running engine or parts engine, but it's stripped and it's missing a hole. One of these are completely stripped out. He included the helicoil pieces, so I'm very happy about that. So it looks like I have everything at this point to put this bike back together again, except one piece. Remember, I bought that bike in kit form, in piece form, and I'm really in pretty decent shape with that bike. Guess I got $50 out on the bike. I got another $150 into the engine. So if you can have an XR80 running for $200, you're really doing pretty well, right? You can't complain too much about that. Here is an XR100 that I took apart. I pulled the engine off of it, and this is not the right seat for it. This seat actually belongs on the one down in the driveway. But what I'm missing is these parts right here. And it's weird, when I took these off the XR100, I thought they were a little hinky. And the reason why I thought they were hinky is because they're really not supposed to be welded on like this. Right. I think somebody did some modifications. You can buy this piece, and this piece looks like it was jacked around and welded quite a lot. You could buy this piece, and they want a lot of money for it. They want like a couple $100 for this piece. I can't seem to find these anywhere. When I search around on XR80, they kind of show them as almost 3 separate pieces. So, and my problem is I haven't taken apart an XR80, though I have parts all over the bloody place. The only one I took apart was this guy, and it's a 100. So it seems that this piece, right, including the skid plate on the bottom, is 1, and it seems as if on the XR80 you kind of have a foot peg with a mount, and I'm not quite sure what the Kickstarter is doing for a living. That's like separate yet again. So I'm not positive what I'm going to do. The only thing I do have that old, what is it, MD80. Maybe the bottom and skid plate on that could be adapted. So I'm happy. I have, you guys know, I have one XR100 running, and I paid for that one. That was not a freebie bike. I have this one here in pieces, but I don't have the bottom for it. Yeah, I was thinking maybe I can steal these, though they don't mount to the engine, but maybe I can steal these and adapt it. The only other thing I do have some CT parts, CT70 parts, and maybe those are adaptable. For any of you guys who really, like you see the way this bolts on, there's 4 bolts, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, you guys can't see them, but I'm not tearing that apart. But that's a ATC 70. So yeah, I was thinking that maybe I can steal them. Though I also have some of these guys floating around. These are a little big and honking, but maybe I could cut those up for the bottom. So yeah, that's kind of the problem when you buy kit bikes. You don't always get the whole thing, and from my eBay searches, they're not the. It seems that I could get foot pegs relatively reasonable for an XR80, but they don't look right, even though they claim the year is correct. Unless, once again, from that 100, I have the wrong pieces. I guess my problem is I'm not quite sure what an XR80 looks like, because I don't have a complete one, and I didn't take one apart, so I can't look at the parts. I'm just kind of looking at the 100 parts, trying to figure out what the 80 looks like. There's some of you guys out there who obviously have some of this stuff floating about, and perhaps you can tell me about it, particularly the XR80s. I have a 100. I took a 100 apart, so I guess I know them, or I know I can kind of fit my way back on them. But I know an XR100 motor will fit where. Actually, I also have that SL100 in the shed. Maybe I can steal. Maybe the foot pegs look the same off of that also. You guys know as much about the junk I have floating around. Maybe your memories are better than mine. If anybody can make a suggestion, I'd appreciate that. Anyway, folks, I want to thank you all for watching. I think I'm going to smash that engine onto the 80. Right, I'm going to put a 100cc motor on that one, and I have a complete one in the shed, so I'm going to smash that on that one, and I'm going to put that one together as a 100. The 80, I have enough parts to put that one together, minus the foot pegs. So if anybody could make some suggestions there, I'd appreciate it. And we'll see where we could go from there. Anyway, folks, I want to thank you all for watching and commenting and subscribing. Remember to keep your feet down, keep your heads up, and get out there and enjoy all your days. Bye now, folks.